I don't go for the whole jerk thing. You're a totally conceited, totally cocky, totally boring waste of good oxygen. I'm sorry, but you're pathetic. How can you talk to her that way?
How dare you talk back to me?
Hey, I'm back. I'm recording this pretty much right after the Lenny Lynette Assassin's Creed video, so cool. Today, we'll be redesigning Bloom from Genshin Impact from Winx Club. Oh, okay. So last time I did this, I did not talk about what I was doing for my redesigns. Last time it was Tekna, and I would like to talk a little bit about what I'm doing here and what I am exactly redesigning. This is a redesign and sort of reinterpret of Season 4 Believix with an asterisk. See, on one of my videos, on Roxy's video, second video, on my redesigning her fairy form, I got a comment that I'll put up here. Thanks, I'm so cute, I'm so glad people comment, where they had this idea of Tellerix. And Tellerix, as the commenter describes it, is an Earth-specific fairy form that non-Earth fairies cannot get. It is effectively what Roxy would get if they had followed a normal line of fairy forms and not doing whatever they did with Roxy. So instead of Magic Winx, she would get this Tellerix form, and she would have a gradual change rather than an one-to-one Magic Winx, Charmix, Enchantix line. I like this idea a lot, and I think there is potential with this idea, and I would have liked to do a design for it, but this is not what I'm doing. However, I wanted to bring this up because what this shows is, well, one, the fandom tends to have like actual ideas for what to do with Roxy, and I love that for us, and we all have very similar ideas, but it does actually sort of give context for what I'm trying to do with my Believix. So I actually kind of like the name Believix. Maybe it's because I grew up with the first 4 seasons of Winx, so Believix doesn't sound weird to me. But I think Believix could work if they do it right. I'm gonna say this. Not the biggest fan of a lot of the Believix designs. That's kind of why I want to reinterpret them. But like, so what I'm doing. Let's just call what I'm doing Neo Believix, because it's going to be a lot easier to describe if you don't have to refer to both as Believix. What I'm trying to do is take Believix and inject some character into it. So what Believix is when the fairies of the magical universe come to Earth where there is no magic, or Earth has a different magic source, whatever you want to use for like the better analysis for this, they can't use Magic Winx or Enchantix. Instead, when they try and transform, they get Believix immediately. This takes away the weird like earning of it, where it's like, Roxy, I believe now. Girl, you only believe because you were in trouble. I always hated that, actually, because it doesn't make sense that like they would get a new form that's able to be like more powerful than Enchantix and actual like attack the villains just because someone was desperate. Like that isn't believing to me. That's desperation. Desperation X. Instead, they get Believix outright, and they are confused by it. And you might see this in my designs. I didn't redesign. My Neo Believix is not a 1-to-1 power scale with the canon Believix, because it is somewhere between Magic Winx and Enchantix, and they will start closer to Magic Winx. In my mind, like, they will be slightly more powerful. They could honestly even be on the same level as Magic Winx if you really wanted to push it, but they would just be like more powerful insofar that they have more experience with magic and using spells. They would have the experience of like the past 3 seasons and just be in a weaker form, which I do think is a form of power. Personally, I don't like the pure thing of like more powerful equal bigger wing. Fucking stupid. Or newer form. Season 5, take notes. And season 6, 7, and 8. And the reboot. We don't know anything about the reboot. I'm just throwing shade for no reason. But what I would do is have them start at a weaker base, at like a weaker form than Enchantix, but slightly stronger than Magic Winx, and have that be Believix. And as they go on their journey through Earth, you could even have Bloom advance slightly easier because she's from Earth. like, despite not being genetically from Earth, or like, whatever, she still has Earth experiences. And I do think that's a really good thing to have in a season focused around Earth and having people believe in fairies. Because you could sort of put an actual societal message in here, you know, like, anything. Like, Believix does kind of have like this conservation thing going on, but for my neo-Believix, have it be like the belief in people and like the belief of the people and like mostly the working class. Listen, I'm not gonna rant about capitalism again. I think I've cut it out of pretty much all my other videos. But Jesus, I could rant about like the evils of this fucking world we live in. Just in case anyone is unaware, which will be everyone, because I am not a known person. This is kind of what my work is based in, is just overthinking to hell and back about society and, you know, like the cultures around people. And I do think that's an interesting way to do Believix, and you'll know at neo-Believix. Sort of have it be the belief in people, belief in cultures, and like the sort of celebration of differences, similarities, and being a person. And I think that's how they get more powerful in Believix, is yes, get more people to believe in fairies, but for more people to recognize the ills of their past, of the forgetting of the fairies. This is the thing, you could keep a lot of season 4 intact and just like change it, like, well, you have to change a lot of dialogue, but you could keep a lot of it intact and still have it be fine. There are quite a few changes I would make. I would completely cut out the Andy shit, like the band and all of that crap. I hate it. It's so dull. Like, the relationship drama is so annoying. Also, Riven, my guy,
You're the runt of this family.
hate his ass so bad. It's something between like season 4 and season 1 of all the Winx. Honestly, just cut the men out if you really want to, or make them gay. With the designs, if you've seen the one with Tekna, which probably hasn't, I'm gonna link it, and you'll see the one with Bloom. What I'm doing with the designs is, instead of going for like I guess the street fashion look of Believix was it of its time? I don't really know, but what I'm doing is I'm like drawing from some street designs, some fashion week designs, but like also, weirdly, a lot of futurism from like the 2000s or even earlier, like this mythical idea of the future, which is kind of what Bloom sees in Magix, but instead it's kind of more related to the fantasy, like people's fantasy of like sci-fi. And the reason why I'm doing this is, and it's not just because I find it cool, because I find like high fantasy and sort of like big poofy dresses cool, but I'm not really putting them all in that. And why is because I wanted a Believix or neo-Believix to represent what Believix is trying to, which is more like streetwear, street fashion of the people, but still like almost fantastical. That's why you'll see there's like weird shapes going on with Bloom, like the jacket. Okay, she does kind of look like she's wearing a waitress outfit for a bit. I think I changed it enough, but you'll see she has like a turtleneck cut under, but then she has like the asymmetrical jacket thing that she's wearing with a belt. And the reason I'm doing it, and she has like this one glove she has on, and it's kind of this asymmetry is, I think, it's something I saw a lot in the Fashion Week stuff I was looking for. I think I was looking at Fashion Week 2024. What was it? Maybe it was 2023 for Africa. Which the fact that it's all of Africa, just I'm not going to go into that. But I in like fashion magazines or like Fashion Week, I tend to see a lot of asymmetry, and I really like it. And I think there is sort of like this fantasy of people to have asymmetry in their wardrobe, but it's easier to get symmetry. It's easier to like have fast fashion. I also want to like sway away from a lot of fast fashion trends with them. I wanted to be a bit more, not maximalist, I don't think, by the way, when I use words, correct me if I'm wrong, because truly I don't know if I'm using them right. Sometimes I just understand something so confidently, and I can be so confidently wrong. I am not ashamed to admit that. Whatever I was saying, asymmetry. And you also notice the colors are more, not subdued, I'd say they're a lot more reined in than Believix with my neo-Believix, because it is supposed to be closer to Magic Winx, but it's slightly more detailed. This is actually best exemplified with Tekna, which is ironic, because I did not talk about my design things in that Tekna video. I wish I did, because I love non-binary Tekna. my absolute monarch. With Bloom, you know what's funny? If you've seen my Roxy video, you'll know I have also a little rewrite thing going on there that I do want to continue. It's hard for me to try and market it. And I actually think you could keep a lot of Bloom's problems in season 4, but have it be actually acknowledged by the narrative that she's becoming this like overzealous bitch. Okay, she's not a bitch. I don't like using that. Okay, why did I? I like using bitch when it refers to men, but not to women. It feels worse somehow. But Bloom is very like, I don't know, she's overbearing in season 4 and I don't really like it, but I do think, and I don't think the writers recognize that she's coming off, I don't want to say Mary Sue, but she does have this like protagonist air about her. She loses a lot of her faults and it kind of bothers me, and I do think this could evolve into a form of fault, because it's Bloom's sort of over righteousness and over like, she sort of becomes like, I hate using Americanized terms, but it's very apt what I'm trying to say. She's like over woke liberal. I don't listen. I just think she's overbearing with her messaging to the point where she becomes grating, and I think that would be something that would get on Zelina's nerves. And yes, Zelina is involved. I don't think she'd appear in season 4 necessarily. You could have her appear in season 4. This is just literally me like fantasizing about a version of a story that is not going to happen. So like, oh, she could appear, as if someone's gonna actually make it. It'll only be me. It'll only in these videos. But yeah, Zelina kind of gets fed up with Bloom, and even when she tries to confront Bloom and like what Bloom's done to her, like the rejection, how much it's hurt her, Bloom won't internalize it as much. People are like, oh, I'm so sorry I did that to you, like almost fake apology, but she thinks it's real. She has no idea what accountability actually is, and that would like send Zelina down like a dark path, because she has like other problems going on. I'll talk about when I talk about Zelina, but yeah. It's also, I don't think Bloom is like without any virtues in my version of season 4, but because I actually do really like the design I came up with, and the pose actually is very indicative of what I'd want for Bloom, because at this point in the story, I think she'd have a good handle on her powers, and I think she'd be able to be fascinated by fire, and revisiting Mike and Vanessa coming back as like a grown woman, I'd say she is, coming back and seeing them, the people who saved her from a fire, now she like controls the fire around her, where before she was protected from it. I don't know, it seems poetic. Also, the color palette I chose, yes, Whiplash. Whiplash, bitch, we're on to colors now. It's actually taken from that one like leaked quote-unquote design for Bloom's reboot design early on, where instead of taking like the like teal light blue from her original design, they've had it be a bit darker and closer to like a navy. I really liked that concept. I'm not a big fan of the reboot design for her, at least as it stands. Just I don't like this, like the like, it's overly detailed, but like not memorable at all, if that makes sense. But yeah, I don't like it as much. I don't know if you'll see this in the time lapse. You probably will at this point. I'm trying to put like, I do play around with pink sometimes, but I genuinely don't think pink works well on Bloom. I would put in yellow. I think this for a while I do like keep a bit of yellow in, but maybe I'll go back and like when I end this, it'll be a bit different, because I do think the like having just a lot of shades of blue makes more sense. Tekna had green and purple, but I mean, it's by the way, just small thing, I would have Tekna be the main character of season 4, or be more main character than Bloom. Like, or she could share the spotlight with Bloom, because Bloom is from Earth, you could spin that. But I'd want to give attention to the girlies who didn't have as much in the earlier seasons. So like Tekna, Flora, does Musa get... No, she doesn't. And Musa, I would have the story focus a bit more on them, especially because they have like power sets that really lean into, I think, Earth kitsch. I'm quoting Fate. They lean into like earthly themes. So like nature, technology, and music. Like people of music, I think you could explore so much with music in Musa, and how people are connected via music, and the different kinds of music, different cultures, how they relate to music, what music actually is. Like, what does it mean to like emits what is music, what isn't music, with nature. Oh my god, can we do something with Flora and her parents? Because I know we get them in season like 7, but I don't like them because they aren't much. Like, do something that has Flora relate to, like, seeing other siblings around, how overly protective she is of Miele and how she didn't get to see her as much because she got sent to Althea so early in her life. Like, or with Flora just seeing how much the earth is like, how people don't take care of the earth. Like, you could still have the conservationist like message, but have it be a bit more mature, because the thing is, it isn't just reduce, reuse, recycle on like a normal working level, because the working class level, because the thing is, it's not the working class people's fault that the world has gone to shit. I don't look. Rein it in, Sam. Let's not talk about these messages in a random fucking YouTube video. Oh, I could though. I think Flora would be such an eco-terrorist. I love her. And technology. Oh, okay. Maybe whenever season 4 was released, was it like 2006? I don't know when season 4 was released. Maybe technology wasn't as big of a thing, but it was the beginnings of the technological boom, and especially now. Like, yes, listen, I'm basically writing fanfic. I don't care that it doesn't make sense that I wouldn't know this like whenever the show was released. This is me writing it now. Technology should be at the forefront of like a season based on Earth, because we are so focused on technology, but we also can't live without it. And the thing is, to what degree would you consider, this might sound stupid, would you consider your phone an external organ? Because we are so attached to our phones, and I am no different. I am very attached to my phone. I'm recording this on a phone. And I get emails on my phone, I get my work on my phone, on my computer. Like, my phone is my connection to the outside world. Like, and we have like the digital world, and how that is kind of just like a reflection or like a digital town square of the actual world. Like, here's the thing, technology is so important to us as people now. I think Techna would be at the forefront. I love Bloom, do not get me wrong, but Bloom's powers, yes, it's fire, fine. I've connected it to her parents, fine. She could have a subplot. I think she should take a fucking backseat. I know, so a lot of the fandom has this thing where it's like, so many people hate Bloom, but she's the main character. Yes, but she gets, like, it's fine for her to be a main character, but I do feel like they focus a little bit too much on her when it is, in essence, the Winx Club and ensemble cast. Especially because she gets like 3 seasons and a like mid-movie all to herself. Give us Techna. Justice for Techna. Also, you could explore non-binarism through her. Anyway, that's this video. If you enjoyed it, I truly can't just make a normal one. I'm sweating. Bye.
I've gotta go now. My friends are calling me, so a big hug and kiss Daddy for me, please. Bye.
How dare you talk back to me?